All right, guys, how you doing?
Look at that.
We got some sunshine. It is very cold, but we got some sunshine. So we thought we'd come out here, soak some of it up through the little bit of skin that we have showing, and give you guys a little video about why we do what we do here. We, a lot of our videos over the summer were with the solar bunker and just solar upgrades in general. And there's a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of accusations for what's going on here, like about solar and off-grid and why we do what we do. So we wanted to make this video for you today. Hopefully we could get to the point and explain some of the reasonings behind why we do what we do. All right? And hopefully this helps some folks who might want to go off-grid, or might want to live a more simple life, or might want to cut back on some expenses or utilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 2018, when we bought this property, we were not broke, but we never have been large income people. So that was a huge motivator for us to buy and find property that was less expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was our budget when we started? I mean, we had really only maybe $5,000 to $10,000 saved up.
Yep, that we were looking to buy stuff with.
Yep.
But some of the land had power and it was a little bit more money.
Yep. Little cabins and small parcels back then in the day were like $40,000 in northern Michigan. And we didn't have $40,000. And because we work for ourselves and don't make a lot of money, and we don't have any debt, we don't have good credit, we don't have bad credit, but we weren't going to borrow money. We just don't do that. We've borrowed money for a house downstate when we were young. We paid that off quickly, and my new truck, which we paid off quickly. So we're just not debt people.
Yep.
So that was a big motivator and a big reason why we went off grid, because this property, the first parcel we bought was $6,500. It was a 4.5, 5 acre chunk. So $6,500, that was in our budget. So once we had that parcel, we started talking to the neighbors. We ended up with 2 additional parcels, so we have a larger parcel in whole here now, right? We built this cabin up here on top of the hill because we loved the view, and it would give us better opportunities and have something unique, right? It's created some hurdles and some obstacles through the years, but made things a little more difficult than if we were to be on farmland or down at camp, but I think it was worth it, right? Us being back here not only saved our budget and made it possible for us to buy property at that time, but we didn't have utilities available.
Correct.
Different companies that could put in different wells, sewers, would have a really hard time getting to our property in general. They 100% could not get up here to the cabin, right?
Correct.
So no utilities. So how far away is the closest electric pole?
About 1.25 miles, and I calculated that because the last time we drove up here, I paid attention to the odometer and where that last pole was till we got to the top up here, because that is where we would need an electrical pole.
So we're going to work off of some numbers here. Jen has on a piece of paper that we are 6,600 feet from the closest power pole, right? She looked up on the internet the average price for running power to a homestead or to a property. What were those numbers?
So for above ground power to be ran from the last power line to here is $5 to $25 a foot.
So if we were to run power above ground 6,600 feet at $25 a foot, how much is that?
$165,000. That's insanity, guys.
Yes. And last time I checked or talked to people, I don't think Michigan is doing above ground line like that, especially through the woods. And we're surrounded by private property for the most part, through all that private property. So they're not going to put phone poles through people's property, not phone poles, but power poles through people's property. They're not going to come a direct route, so we're going to have to follow the road like we drove. So last time I checked, Michigan's doing underground now. So what was the cost for underground?
Underground is crazy, guys. It is 10 to $37 a foot.
Yep.
So if we were to do that for our 6,600 feet, it'd be $244,000. That's
All right.
not
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, so those are the maxes. Now, if we worked with the more reasonable, lowest cost, and we know nothing ever costs
The low.
the low cost to the low end.
That's in the perfect situation,
Yeah,
which we're not in.
Yeah, $10 a foot at 6,600 feet is $66,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So $66,000 minimum to run power up here. 66,000.
Nobody can do that.
Yeah, and plus it's all on private land, so I'm sure there would be more, like maybe there'd be easements to run. Maybe
Yep,
there'd be.
and we're running uphill too. We're not
Yeah.
just running on a flat ground. We are
Yeah.
running up a steep 1,200 foot high hill.
Yep. Now I talked to a gentleman at the gas station the other day. He ran power for his property 3/4 of a mile, and he said it cost him $27,000, and that was on flat land. And they dug the trench in a couple days and ran it out there. But he said it was all on state land. It was not on private land. So that was close to $30,000. So that's, like I said, half of what we're doing, but we're a little bit farther. And we're on private land. So like I said, that would be quite the task.
Yes.
$66,000. We barely had the $6,500 to buy this first parcel at that time.
Yeah, so that is why we don't have power. Because I see comments sometimes in videos when we're doing solar stuff and maybe we're struggling. People are like, I don't understand why you just don't have power. Well, it'd be $250,000
Yeah.
that you can buy a nice house for that price.
On grid with all utilities, all everything, road access. So
That is why we do stuff with the solar.
Yeah.
And is solar always perfect?
no.
Do we have sunny days like this all winter long where we have no problems and you can run whatever you want all day long?
No.
So those are the struggles we face.
Yeah. But we don't have a utility bill. We don't have to pay 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks a month just for the meter, and then electricity on top of that of $100 to $200. We're no utility bills. We've never had a utility bill here in 7 years. Mm-hmm. But we have a ton of other expenses.
Yep.
So on average in the winter, I think last winter we spent about $150 in gasoline to run our generator. This year we're probably going to be between $200 and $300 to run the generator because we have a larger battery bank, and we're just trying to keep that battery bank safe and charged up. Mm-hmm. And we're a little more lackadaisy with our power consumption now.
Now that we feel comfortable with our solar knowledge, we use a little bit more luxury items.
Yeah, we use the air fryer once in a while, and we always made coffee with electricity, but we're trying to get our return on investment. If you guys want to see us build up our solar system from where we started, which was just one battery and a small cheap inverter, like a $10 inverter that someone gave me or I bought at a garage sale, and a couple solar panels, check out our solar playlist. Mm-hmm. We also have a bunker playlist for our more
Up-to-date system.
yes, more up-to-date system. Sorry, and there's lots of videos for you guys to watch. So we do have investment in our solar. Mm-hmm. We are very fortunate to have built this YouTube channel, and we get a lot of our products are sponsored and given to us, and that's how we make money, is to market stuff to our viewers. But if we did not have that opportunity, we would have about $20,000 invested into our solar system. $20,000 is still a far better deal than minimum $66,000.
Mm-hmm. Because the solar is self-maintained pretty much. Once he's got it set up, it charges from the sun and provides us power. We don't have a bill each month for the solar.
No. And our return on investment would probably be 10 years if we had an electric bill. Let's just say $2,400. Let's say $200 a month. So you'd be talking at 9 years for your return on investment for solar. People always talk about how solar doesn't work well in the winter. They're right. January or December and January, we have to use the generator a lot. It's the middle of winter right now. Our panels are collecting sun. Last time I checked them this morning, we're getting 750 watts. We're still getting some power production in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of doing what we did here and running off solar?
Well, a huge advantage is there are no power outages.
Yeah.
Last March, there was a massive ice storm in this area, and people were out of power for up to 14 days. Do you know who wasn't out of power? Us.
Yes. We were the only shiny lights on in the whole northern part of Michigan.
It was very nice, and we were blessed because of this.
Yep. We were also able to help other folks in the area, neighbors. We have, as you know, we do, like I said earlier, we do marketing and sponsorship videos. We were able to help some of the neighbors by, loaning them power stations and some solar devices to help them keep their refrigerators running and keep their phones charged and maybe help keep their houses warm. Most people up here have wood stoves, but still need power to keep things rolling, right?
Yep. And another advantage is that in the summertime, we have so much power, it's ridiculous. We can run the air conditioning all day long and collect power in our battery bank and not have to worry about an electric bill or the house being hot.
Yep. We do not worry about electricity for 9 to 10 months of the year. We have plenty of production up here with this amount of money spent and this size of system. We've actually just increased our system from 3,600 watts of panels to 5,000 or 5,400 just to keep up with our large battery bank and to help us in the winter time, help us get a couple hundred watts even on cloudy days, and it's worked great so far. So far this winter, we have charged the batteries once every 10 to 14 days. So that is a huge improvement over last year when we were charging the batteries every 3 to 4 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have 3 times the system size, almost. But
it's lasting about 3 times as long.
Yep, but the solar array is helping provide us with more power even on cloudy days, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So another advantage is no utility bills.
Yes.
We do have to pay for $200 to $300 worth of gas for the winter to run our generator, but $200 to $300 per winter is a far better option than $200 a month.
Yep, because he does not run the generator from basically March to November.
Yeah, we don't touch it. I mean, I run it once in a while just
to run it,
to make sure it runs and so it doesn't get clogged up and maintenance stuff. But other than that, it's great. What are some of the disadvantages for running on solar and doing what we do here?
Well, December and January, we do not see the sun often. If we see the sun for more than 5 days total between those 2 months, it is like a celebration.
Yeah. We typically last year during the summer or during the 9 months that we get good solar, we're producing anywhere from 150,000 watt hours to 300,000 watt hours per month. And then now this January and December that we just went through, we produced 30.
So it's a huge difference.
Yeah, 10% basically of the production in January and December. So
yes, because we're up in the northern part of Michigan here, and it's considered the snow belt, so it's very cloudy all the time, lots of snow.
The only time we get sunshine is when the lakes are frozen and we get this really cold temperatures like we have right now where it's 2 degrees.
Yep. So
I mean, it's a give take. Another disadvantage is that we're just dependent upon the weather.
Mm-hmm.
And what other disadvantages? Disadvantages really for us running on solar.
Before we had our larger battery bank, it was power consumption and making sure you don't use too much. And I know other YouTube channels, they have less batteries, so they have to wait for a sunny day to do laundry or
Yep.
ABC. We don't have laundry up here just yet, but when we do, we're not going to have to worry about that because we're going to have enough battery power.
Plenty of power to do it.
Yeah, we're going to have enough power to do it because we have lots of batteries, which again, we're fortunate and blessed to do.
Yep. And I mean, and you know, one good thing too, guys, I want to kind of show in this video a little bit is that the solar prices on stuff have come down by like 70%, 60 to 70% over the last 5 years. A system like this that we have would have cost us $100,000 5 years ago, and now it's $20,000 to $30,000. I mean, it's a significant savings. So some of these more remote properties like ours or anywhere in the country where power is miles and miles away, as long as you could get access to the sun like we do up here on the hill or out on farmland, you can do it now for a third of the price that you used to 5 years ago.
Yep, and you don't have to start off with a big system like we have. You could start off with a couple panels and batteries for what you need and work up to what you want.
So we hope that clears up a little bit of stuff. There are, like I said, basically what triggered this video was the comment section, right?
Yep,
in a lot of our solar videos, people didn't understand why we were running on solar, why we chose this way. A lot of it was a budget for the land, but just no availability unless you spend tons of money.
$260,000 is crazy. Yeah. I mean, if we had that kind of money, I'd rather buy more land.
Yes, we would rather spend money on land than on utilities, right?
Yes.
And this works great for 10 months of the year.
Yeah, it's not.
And it works good the other 2 months too. You just have to run a generator once every week or two.
And he just runs it at night once we go to bed.
Yeah, and you can't even hear it going out here. So another thing, you know, people thought we weren't actually off grid. We are off grid.
We are off grid.
We have no connection to any utilities. Some people think we're like in someone's like in our backyard or in our back property, and we just have a little cabin here. We are a mile away from utilities and are hooked up to nothing.
Nope.
So, are we connected to the world through internet and through, you know, cell phones? Yes, but that is not the grid. That is society that we're connected to. So, we are not hermits. We like people for the most part. And we love our lives here, and we wouldn't do it any different, right? So, and we're going to do it as long as we can.
Yep.
And we hope that you guys want to join us, hang out with us. We have a lot of good resources in our older videos for anybody who might be new here, or even if you have been here for a while and you have only been here for a year, go back 5 years and see our humble beginnings.
Yep. So that's how being off grids saved us over $200,000.
Yep. And we love it.
Yep.
If you want to see and learn more about our solar system directly, not just our lifestyle here, check out our solar videos.
And if you have any questions about solar or any questions about our off-grid experiences or life or anything, drop them in the comments. We try to answer as many as we can, and if we see a lot of the same question, we'll do a video about it.
Yep. So what else?
I don't know.
Let's get inside and sit by the fire.
It's cold out, guys. It's like 2 degrees out. It's beautiful. It's so sunny, but it's 2 degrees, so we might go in and warm up for a bit.
Yep. And I just checked the solar app. We're producing 1,700 watts right now.
It's pretty
and
exciting.
Our heads are blocking the ray, so we should get out of the way. We're probably cutting off a couple watts.
Thanks for being here.
We appreciate you guys watching and supporting our channel.
Be sure to like, comment, share, and hype up our videos.
Yep. Best wishes, everybody. We'll see you in the next video.
See ya.